I know a lot of you are used to seeing sports. There's something a little bit different. It's a sport of sorts. A little more relaxing though. Hey Daisy, how are you? Doing well. Just relaxing a little bit. Something a little different instead of sports. Little Niagara Falls. Is that where you're from, Daisy, originally? Nice. I think I remember that. Bills fan. Yes. We did a couple of did the one boat ride today. I think we're going to do the jet boats tomorrow. It is. We missed the fireworks last night, though. We were stuck at the Rainforest Cafe. And we did the Hornblower because we're on the Canadian side, but yeah, basically same thing. All right, Daisy, take care. Thanks for stopping in. You too. Definitely. Take care. No gambling for me. The little kids keep me out of the casinos. Although I used to live in Las Vegas, so you have a good evening. Hi there, is this what's that say? Laurie? Laurie or Larry? This is Niagara Falls. That's the mist rising from the bottom of the falls. It's a beautiful sight. We were on a boat ride today, went right down to the base of the falls, and wow, it gives you a better idea how powerful that water is. If you're watching, has anybody else been up here to the falls? Up in Ontario? We are on the Canadian side. You really can't see the American side of the falls. Oreo, my cat, and Laurie Sophia. Love that name, Sophia. It's my grandmother's name, my mom's middle name, and my two daughters. One has the middle name Sophia, and the other one has the middle name Sophie. I turn the phone a little bit. You could see the boat, the horn blower, coming into the picture a little bit there. It's going to go in and turn around at the base of the falls. It's an awesome ride. If you have any questions, just leave it down in the chat. I'll see if I can answer them. They have fireworks every night at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. And at dark, the falls will light up all different colors. A little bit of a light show. Is this CGI? No, it's not CGI, Mr. Butchko. Thanks, Chris. No, can't reproduce this. The real deal. It's a gorgeous view, Chris. Gorgeous. There's only one person that can make this, and we all get to see him sometime in life. Well, maybe not in life, in the afterlife, huh? No, we're in the Embassy Suites. It has 42 floors. We're on the 32nd floor. Probably one of the fanciest hotels I've ever stayed at. How far is Niagara from where you are, Chris? That's right, it was garbage night. Had to get rid of everything out of the fridge. We knew you were going to be coming. There were some wine coolers there, but you'd have to fight my mom over them. Yeah, my understanding, Chris, is it's every night, and now they also do fireworks at 10 o'clock every single night. I'm not sure if that ends at some time, during the year, but all I know is they did them last night, but we were stuck at the Rainforest Cafe, which was that was something else. It took us 2 hours almost to get our food, but the good thing is they really hooked us up on the bill. I think they only charged us like less than 50% of what it was. Yeah, it was bad. 2 hours, way too long. It's all about the experience, Yes, that's really cool over there. It's amazing how close to the falls you can get. We went on the boat ride today, and it was the Hornblower, which is the Maid of the Mist, the Hornblower, same thing, but it was pretty incredible. I'm gonna have to look that up. Three Sisters. Make sure you guys check out South 601. That's actually my son. He's helping look over my mom while we're gone. But yeah, he lent me a Insta360 camera, and are you serious? John Daly. He's back on the map now with his appearance in Happy Gilmore 2. It's pretty awesome. But anyway, that camera he lent me, thank goodness it's waterproof, because I did not think we were going to get as wet as we did on that boat ride. It was like going down the highway in a bad storm with your head out the window. Crazy. So John Daly tried to hit a golf ball across the... I wonder, did he do it just kind of cavalier? You know, he's not much for the law. For sure, that'd be funny. I'm gonna have to look that up. It's got to be on YouTube somewhere. We're doing the jet boat tomorrow. We did what's called the Maid of the Mist, or the one we were on was called the Hornblower, which is the Canadian side. But it's just a big passenger boat. Takes you into takes you right to the base of the falls and kind of sits there and turns around. It's just very powerful. It's like a monsoon. I gotta look that up. I've never heard that, Chris. John Daly is an absolute character. And I think he might be a better golfer now than he was then. Right next to us, you have the Tower Hotel, which is kind of weird because you can see right in their rooms. I'm afraid my kids will open up the blinds and look out and catch something that they probably shouldn't see. Yeah, my kids are down at the pool. I'm taking a break. I put in more steps in the last 2 days than I have probably the last year. I should have brought an electric scooter. I'm going to give you guys a quick peek at the Tower Hotel. I don't think I can zoom in. Look at that. Right into the bedrooms. Jeez. Louise. Better watch. Might pick something crazy on camera and get kicked off of YouTube again. No, when I was a kid, I was up at Niagara Falls with my parents. I'm not sure when that was, maybe the 80s. And then back in the early 2000s, we were here. And so this is my third time. I'm sure the people on the side that I just showed you have a beautiful view. Yeah, we were over at the Skyline Tower yesterday. We also rode the Sky Wheel. That was at nighttime. Actually, we just got on the Sky Wheel at midnight last night. It was pretty crazy. Beautiful view. The falls all lit up. It was hot and humid, but at least the Sky Wheel was air conditioned. Chris, that's for sure. We went to the One Wax Museum today because we ended up getting what they call the fun passes, which is a pretty good deal as far as what they cost versus doing the things individually. But my kids really liked it. But we went to that One Wax Museum, and a handful of the figures that they had there really looked good. But for the most part, it was kind of funny, to be honest. It is. It's like a carnival or like just like a boardwalk up there, but pretty interesting is in terms of how it's grown in the last 20 years. It's definitely a tourist trap. But I think that, you come here and plan it out and get to see different things. It's the journey behind the falls is a cool thing. The river walk. But honestly, I don't even know, like some of that stuff, I don't even know if it's necessary because, I can go right down below here and, walk right alongside the river, right alongside the falls. It's pretty cool. But yeah, the view is amazing. I'm not sure what that tower is out in the distance. Looks pretty interesting. Any political stuff? Like what? Like they wanted to throw me in jail when I tried to go over the border? Nothing like that. It's pretty simple. Handed them the passports. They asked me about 5 canned questions, and that was it. I'm telling you, the Maid of the Mist, or the hornblower, is just absolutely incredible. I thought it was going to be, just one of those experiences that, you know, you just spend a lot of money on or whatever. But my kids loved it, and it was, you just don't understand. Like, you can't comprehend how powerful that stuff is, how powerful that water is until you get that close to it. It's just pretty crazy. Hey, Rusty Rivers, how you doing? Yeah, I wonder how many people, Les Paul, South 601, I wonder how many people cross over every day, working back and forth on both sides. It's pretty interesting up here. A real mix of, ethnic backgrounds, and um, just people from all over. I wonder, Chris, the feeling that you have on that boat, like, it's got to be, low, low category type hurricane stuff, because the wind just picks up and it just rips through the boat. And at first I didn't put my poncho. They give you like a plastic poncho to put on. At first I didn't put it on, and then I said, maybe I'll put it on. I'm glad I did. I didn't let my machismo get the best of me. I put it on, and it didn't keep me dry, but it kept me a lot drier than I would have been without it. I had a bucket hat, which I always wear. I had to take it off and hold it. Shh. Shouldn't tell people I took my shirt off. I posed with King Kong in the wax museum. I took my shirt off and did a little flex in front of them. My kids almost ran out the door. They got some interesting food up here too, which I never heard of. Like the beaver tails, a dessert. We ate at a pretty interesting restaurant, which was the Flying Saucer Cafe. Actually, really reasonable. Nice portions. Nothing spectacular as far as fine dining, but definitely filled us up. So what is poutine? I saw it on the menu. My daughter asked me that, and I said, well, Google it. And I never Googled it, but like, what is it? I'm going to have to check it out. Oh, the cheese curds. Okay. I did see that on one of the menus where it was like fried cheese curds. It actually sounds good. I see. The real cheese. Sounds absolutely healthy. LOL. But trying to forget about watching what I'm doing here a little bit while we're on vacation. I was thinking about going up to see the Blue Jays play on Friday. They play the Kansas City Royals, and it's fireworks night. So, Chris, you're in Windsor, and the last time I thought about something, next to meeting you online was Windsor is where they make, Chrysler has a plant there where they make, I know it's where we bought a Chrysler, it's Chrysler Pinnacle, but I forget what the other name is that they use for it, but we bought a minivan, and that's the plant it was actually made in. If I'm correct, that's like kind of above Michigan. Chrysler Pacifica, that's it. The Pacifica. Yep, Stellantis. Learned a lot about it while we were waiting for the van to be delivered and built. Oh, okay. Markham. I do remember you saying that before. How's your live stream going, Chris? I've been in and out, but I've been so busy between baseball and all the other stuff I got going on. I haven't been on much. I know last month it seemed like your channel was absolutely killing it. It seemed like the YouTube algorithm was really doing nicely for you. make sure if you're watching, if you have a channel and you're looking for followers or subscribers, you hook each other up. Make sure you visit and, give them a little like, leave a message, and subscribe. Yeah, that's true. When our van was being built, I really was following Stellantis pretty closely, and there was a lot of weird stuff going on. Like people would work, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and then all of a sudden they'd get laid off for, weeks, a week, a month, whatever it was, because of the lack of parts. And a lot of people were blaming it on COVID and saying it was tough getting the, different parts in, and then they'd get a shipment and they'd go crazy and make a bunch of vans. But yeah, it was coming from all over the place. Yeah, that's what I noticed when I was following. I'm hoping when people got laid off, they were at least getting, still getting paid, whatever the process would be. Did I buy equipment to live stream football? Yes. Yet. I bought some, and also the folks at Nearstream, which I've been collaborating with, they actually sent me, or it's sent and it's coming, I'm not sure when, I think it might be tomorrow, a different camera. I have the Nearstream VM33, and they're now sending me the VM46. Really the only difference is one is a 2K camera and the other one's a 4K camera, the one they're sending. So I'm excited about that. They're really nice cameras. That was my understanding too from reading the comments. I don't even know how I got into the one Stellantis group, because it was supposed to be like a Stellantis employee group, and I clicked to join the thing, and I clicked to join it, and they ended up accepting my request, and they I saw all kind of stuff, job postings, people, little grievances here and there. It was pretty interesting. And my understanding is you cannot live stream directly from the Insta360. That's something we might be doing tomorrow. There's the Butterfly Conservatory, and then there's a I think it's called something with birds. It's like a live bird thing where the birds are flying around. Matter of fact, when we got off the Hornblower today, off of that boat ride, there was a gentleman sitting there with a hawk on his arm, and you can get pretty close to it, but he had him. He had its legs in, kind of bound up, which I'm sure that's maybe one of the only ways you could have it safe. But got some nice pictures of the hawk and with the kids. Said I think tomorrow that's what we're gonna do. That butterfly conservatory, the whirlpool jet boats, and the journey behind the falls. Another 25,000 steps. Niagara on the lake. I'm going to check that out. We'll definitely have time. That sounds cool. I'll have to research it a little bit because the kids will, why are we driving up here? Give them a little history behind it. I know we're staying here tonight. Well, stayed here last night. Stayed here for 3 nights, and then we're moving about 15 minutes away to a different hotel. It's called Great Wolf Lodge, which is it's an indoor water park. And the whole thought was, we can still do things because we're close enough and we have our vehicle, but it's also something to keep the kids busy and for my wife and I just to kind of sit back and relax. Let them do their thing. Did we feel the earthquake? No. I've been actually tuned out. I did not know there even was an earthquake, to be honest. Been kind of off the grid a little bit. Did you guys feel it back home in Pennsylvania? I heard something about the potential for a tsunami, and I'm assuming that was from the earthquake. Oh, okay. Near Russia and Alaska. No. I mean, I'm in a 42-story building. That's kind of scary to think of that. That is good to know, Chris, because no fault lines here. That's good. I'm not one much for heights. But I'm more of a claustrophobic kind of person. That's why we were going to go on a cruise instead of coming up here, but this was a little closer for us. and overall probably a little less expensive. In my lifetime, we've only ever felt down in Pennsylvania that I know of one earthquake, and that was not that long ago, maybe 15, 20 years, something like that. I used to be a principal of a school, and I was sitting in my office. It was over the summer, and I started feeling dizzy, like I thought I was going to pass out, but I could feel the room moving. It was really weird. I forget where the earthquake was, either Virginia or North Carolina, South Carolina, something like that, and we felt it up there. Yeah, it was weird, really, really weird. You know, when you're sitting in a room that shouldn't be moving, and all of a sudden it's moving, you kind of think you're going crazy. Uh-oh, I see people over there in that Tower Hotel. What are they doing? Uh, yeah, exactly. The middle school I was a principal of was one of those classic ones built with the super thick walls. I don't know what they were made out of, like, you know, granite, some big stone, something you'd never think should ever move. Yeah, it was definitely that swaying feeling that was super uneasy. You know, I've had some bouts of vertigo, you know, from inner ear stuff like inner ear infections, that type of thing. And that's exactly what I was feeling. It felt very much like it was like vertigo, and I just did not like it. I think the only other time that I felt something like that is when my son, who's on here, we went on their eighth grade field trip to New York City, and we went up into the to the top of the Empire State Building, and I don't know, I could have sworn I could feel it moving. Yeah, I put in almost 30 years, Chris. I was a math teacher, and then and became a went into administration, did administration for about 13 years, right in the middle of my career, and then ended up going back when I had younger kids. I went back to the classroom and finished out. Retired last May, not this past May, but May of 24. And I still work at the schools. I work at a private school part-time, and then I do social media and videos and graphics and stuff, computer kind of creative stuff for the district that I retired from. But yeah, my dad was a math teacher, put in about 35 years, and my uncle was a math teacher. My son, who's on here right now, he ended up getting a business degree and got his MBA and ended up going in, coming down and teaching with us. So the last couple years that I worked, he taught with my wife and I. My wife's a health and phys ed teacher, and then I retired, and then he actually left from the business teaching position and became the business manager of the school district, which I told him he was crazy, but as long as he's happy. And my wife now went from three butch goes being in the school down to just one. She's by herself. She has about 8 or 9 more years to go. Yes, Les, I remember making you walk the stairs down, not up, down, I think it was, because the elevators in the Empire State Building, they packed you in there like sardines, and I am definitely a little claustrophobic. So I said, I'm not riding those elevators back down. I'm just going to walk down the stairs. I wish I would have been counting my steps back then, because good Lord, did we put in a lot of steps walking through New York, almost running through New York. That was a great trip. Really cool place to visit. I can't imagine being the business manager is more rewarding than teaching, but teaching had its ups and downs also. But that's cool. I'm glad you told me that, Chris. Exactly. A lot of people get into jobs like that and they feel immediately they made a mistake. And I definitely never felt like it was a mistake. That's it. 3,000 kids, and you see those kids out in the streets or their parents. And I had a really nice student that I had back in 8th grade reach out to me on Facebook, and she's now almost 40, and said to me, reached out to me on Facebook, and we kind of reconnected a little bit, and said a lot of nice things. But that's the cool part, really seeing how they grew up and what they're doing with their lives. And then there's the other side. There's a lot of sad stuff happening that, you see names in the newspaper, and, it's tough. That's cool. Do you mind me asking, Chris, what you did? I think it ends up being in people's blood. I'm a teacher. My wife's a teacher. My son, who's on here, his mom's a teacher. My dad was a teacher. My uncle was a teacher. It's just pretty crazy how You know, it gets in your blood, and it's like, well, all you know. Growing up, remember my dad taking me. He taught summer school, and instead of me staying home with my grandmother, he would take me with him, you know, for the mornings of summer school, and I'd hang out there all day, goof around with the kids, learn some stuff, just have some fun. I wouldn't say that doesn't interest anybody. I mean, or isn't very interesting. I'm always interested in hearing what other people did. That's, you know, I had a friend that said that they were in logistics. And when he said it to me, I was thinking to myself, logistics? Like, what exactly does that mean? So, like, that conversation turned into an hour conversation because, you know, you just, you know, to them, that means what they're doing. To me, I don't understand what that means. And I, you know, the conversation basically went to logistics being they figure out how to do things. When something needs done, whether it's something moved from here to there, something built here, something happening, they figure out how to do it. And that's for sure. It's a different, I think people who stay in public service jobs like that, they're different. They're just different. They have, I'm not going to say more patience, but I think that, you know, they're looking for, they're looking at those results. How, you know, how does this affect other people? How does what I'm doing or you're doing or they're doing, how does it affect other people? And then how does it, how can I tell that it's affecting them in a positive way? You're patiently waiting for the falls to light up. Well, that should be soon. I could say soon. I know that in about 10 or 15 minutes, my little minions will be back up here, and we're going to be heading down. There's a, I forget what it's called. It's an incline, it's like a little incline plane. The city of Johnstown has by the way, has the most or the steepest vehicular incline plane, I think, in the world. I could be wrong, but I know it's the steepest either in America or in the world. And it takes you up the side of a mountain, up to a different little city. But the, turn my lamp off. Man, you're a critic, Les. But anyway, we're going to take that down and stand right along the railing down there and watch the fireworks and the light show. No, because we're only using it for the water stuff. As far as putting the camera in pure video, I've heard of that though. I'm just going to probably use my cell phone. That's what we were thinking. Since we missed it last night being in the Rainforest Cafe. Where's the casino? Well, as I'm looking at the falls, the casino is to the left, right up along the river there. And I'm really not sure what that is out there. I'm going to turn the camera just a little bit. There is some building out there, which I'm assuming is on the American side. I'm not sure what that building is. There's a little light show going on. Yes, I was going to say that. There's the new one, and then I think there's an older one. A lot of concerts. At the new casino. I think it's, I forget what it's called, the OLG amphitheater, not amphitheater, but OLG, I forget what it's called. But there's like a, oh, it's called OLG stage. Yeah, exactly. The one beside us here, the one closer to this hotel is the newer one. That other casino up, well, that's been here a long time. Parking. First of all, I drive a Chevy Suburban, and they told me it wouldn't fit in a garage. So parking was, it was around $30 a day, $34 a day. So I could not park in the garage, which is attached to the hotel. So I had to use the off-street parking. But what's really cool is they have the shuttle running, and it, I don't know, they probably have 4 shuttles running constantly. So you just walk out the front of the hotel. The longest we waited for one was like 5 minutes. It picks you up, takes you out to the parking lot. which is about 4 blocks away. Same thing when you come back to the place. We park in the parking lot, and the shuttle is usually there waiting for you. Last night, we did not get, it's kind of crazy. We didn't get back to the hotel until about 2 in the morning, and ended up, we pulled in the parking lot. The shuttle pulled right up to our car. Everybody loaded up, and they brought us back to the hotel, so it's pretty nice. It does look beautiful at night. Chris, I got to tell you something funny, though. This is a funny story. Funny but true. So I pull to get gas up here. And I got to be honest with you, I was absolutely stoked. I looked at the price of gas, and it said I think it was like 126, and I'm, $1.26. I'm like, whoa, man, gas prices up here are incredible. And then I figured, dummy me, it said 126 per liter. And I'm like, oh my God. So, of course I had to do the math because I'm the math head. And a liter is about 0.26 of a gallon. So it's about 26% of a gallon. And so gas is a little more expensive up here. Oh, jeez. That is so funny. Do I remember wee wee? Yes. Do you mean wee wee as in the boys' coach, wee wee? But yeah, going back to the gas thing, that just, it crushed my soul. I thought, oh, what a deal. I mean, when it came down to it, it was actually probably a little bit cheaper than where we are, because it's by the gallon, and we are at, like, the cheapest I saw it around where we live was about $3.29, so $3.29 a gallon. But overall, I think it was pretty close to the same. Where are you going with that, Les? I'm not sure what you're asking. Oh, a tanker of gasoline would last us 13 years. And look at that. That's not sunshine. The falls just lit up. It must light up at 9 o'clock. Yep. Little bit of a light show going on. My daughter was trying to tell me that somebody controls these lights every night. They sit there and push the buttons. I'm like, they do not. It's programmed. Having experience in the entertainment industry also. No, we cannot see the American Falls. Well, I mean, just the edge of it. But that's why we want to go down and actually experience it, right in our face. But yeah, where this is this would be considered the Horseshoe Falls, if I'm not mistaken. Meg said so. What did she say? That this is the Horseshoe Falls? You guys got to come up here sometime. Let's make the drive. It's a little. It took us, I mean, although we stopped twice, it took us driving wise a little less than 5 hours. Well, I'm sure it does. It erodes that rock and that wall, that face of the falls away, so it keeps creeping up. Megan. That's my son's wife, Megan, my daughter-in-law. Talking like she's Christopher Columbus and she discovered Niagara Falls. Well, I'm going to sign off here because I think the gremlins are back. Thanks for stopping. I'll have to post some videos of the fireworks once we get down there and get those videos. Chris, it was great seeing you, talking with you. Thank you for stopping in. Les Paul, behave. Plan a trip up here. The winter time, the winter festival lights is pretty impressive. Thanks, Chris. You take care. I'm signing off.